Hi, this is Keeper, and welcome back to On Air, Tuesday, November 29, 2011. Do we have an action-packed show for you today? We're going to begin with the $200 duplicatable solution that can help you build your business really quick. We're going to be looking at Richard Brooks' $200 duplicatable, very simple system that you and your team can use to build any business really quickly. After that, we're going to be looking at India, a country I absolutely love, people I do business with. A number of them are in India. We're going to be looking at India, the rise of the next direct selling superpower. After that, we begin our countdown to Direct Selling Live's Power 54, which will take place on January 26th, live on Direct Selling Live. Today, we're going to begin the countdown as we look back at 2011's Power 50 list, started with number 50 and number 49. After that, we finish out with the big news of the day, the Direct Selling Association's new national campaign designed to help bring awareness and build your business if you're a DSA member. Be right back. Hi, this is Keeper, and welcome back to On Air. Before I get started, I want to send out a spectacular happy anniversary to my wife, Patty. Today is our 25th wedding anniversary, 25 years of being married to an absolutely wonderful woman. She's just been absolutely spectacular. If it wasn't for her, I could not do what I do to the degree that I do it. This just would be impossible. Just absolutely love her to death. But let's get down to business. Let me just ask you this. What if there was a very simple, duplicatable business solution that you could use to put into your business that would cause exponential growth, and certainly by the time years 3 or 4 rolled around in your 3 to 4 year plan, you would be well on your way? What if there was such a thing? Back when I got involved in direct selling in 1995, there was a magazine that was out called Upline Magazine. Upline Magazine was the preeminent training magazine in direct selling at the time. And that was pretty much handled by John Fogg. Some of the people that are over at Networking Times were involved as well. But one of the great things about Upline Magazine, if you were a subscriber, of which I was, you were able to make copies of any article. You could make copies of any special reports that they have free because you were a subscriber and they wanted you to pass on the information. I bought every single special report that Upline put out, and I still have them today. I refer to them today because they are, to me, the bedrock stories and techniques on how to build a business. You had some of the best from Tom Big Al Schreider to Randy Gage, Russ DeVan, of course, Bridget Goldsboro. You had Peggy Long. You just had some of the absolute best writing, or did some opt-in writing for them. It was absolutely spectacular. But one of the articles that I really liked, and this is what the special reports look like for Upline. Upline Special Reports. The magazine is no longer in business, but this is the special report. One of the articles that they had was written by Russ DeVan. Russ DeVan has been in direct selling for, 20 years maybe at this point. And he did an article based on a conversation that he had with Richard Brooke, the president and visionary over there at OxyFresh and also at 2110, about a $200 duplicatable system that anyone could absolutely put into their business and build a very successful business in 3 to 4 years. You don't really need to generate thousands of dollars a month in personal sales in order to build your business. The key is, can you find the 3 to 4 to 5 to maybe 6 business partners who can duplicate in a very simple way what you're doing? Use the product, recommend the product, and teach others to do the same. And what you do, you put some numbers in place that anyone could use. This one centers around Richard Brooks' very simple $200 duplicatable business building system. I'm going to read from the Upline article how to actually do this. It's the system is the solution. There's no date on this particular special report. I don't know that you can get it anymore, but the lead article in here is called The Critical Factor. You open it up, and here is the breakdown of the $200 business solution. Very simple, duplicatable system. It just goes on to say, Ruster Van, several years ago, he ran into Richard Brooke, and they just got to talking. And Richard showed him an illustration of a very simple $200 way to build a business. Take a look at this. It's all about doubling your efforts every quarter. Doubling your $200 efforts every quarter and getting someone else who's going to partner with you to do the same thing. It's all about progression. He showed me an illustration of doubling that that could be particularly useful, believable example of geometric progression. It's really that simple. First, take a 3-year projection, and I'll put it up here on the screen for you. First, take a 3-year projection of a business volume and divide it into 12 quarters. Not 12 years, but 12 quarters. If your goal is to produce $200 in volume the first quarter, and upon achieving this, you duplicate your efforts in such a way that your business volume doubled every quarter for the next 33 months, 11 more quarters, your volume in the fourth quarter of the third year would exceed over $400,000. Duplicating your efforts simply requires that you sponsor and train one new person per quarter to do the same $200 you do per quarter for 4 years, for 12 quarters. That is it. It is a simple, duplicatable system. It's right here. You can see just how it easily just grows into a geometric progression. It's very, very simple to do. And the business can really be that simple. There are examples on top of examples on top of examples of how people have built their business doing something as simple as this. It's Richard Brooke's $200 duplicatable business building solution. You do $200 per quarter for 12 quarters. You teach someone else to do the same thing every quarter. They turn around and teach someone else to do the same thing every quarter. And come towards the end of your 3-year part of your 4-year plan, you are already producing over $400,000 in sales volume. That is something you can do. When we come back, we are going to look at the next direct selling superpower, India. Welcome back to On Air. Right now, we're going to talk about the next direct selling superstar. No, it's not an individual, and no, it's not a company. It's a country. It's a country that is so large that those people that are in their workforce, the number of people in this country's workforce outnumbers the total population of the United States. That's how big it is. What country are we talking about? We are talking about India. India is such a fascinating country. It is almost without question, anytime you call a business these days, well, not without question, but very often whenever you call a company these days and you're looking for customer support and you're on the telephone, very often, or even if you're having to do chat support, very often you're dealing with someone in India. From a tech service provider aspect, there is no country that is bigger and does more business in support and just about any sort of IT than India. But we're going to talk about India from a direct selling standpoint. If you are a direct selling company, if you are a direct selling distributor, you're always looking for ways to expand, to build your business. With the growth of India and seeing how they are just really growing in all areas of their country, socially, politically, education-wise, infrastructure, environmental issues. They are just becoming the hub of the world. And direct selling companies are starting to more en masse go into India. Right now, there are a number of direct selling companies in India. Avon's over there, companies certainly from the United States. Avon is over there in Tupperware and a number of others, and I'll show you some of that in a few seconds. However, but when you look at India, India represents it's almost like manna from heaven if you are wanting to grow. What you've got, India is the 5th largest consumer market. They will be the 5th largest consumer market in 2025. They have such a huge expanding middle class. So that means that the opportunities for growth in just about any sector of business, India will be the place to go. As it relates to direct selling, it's an unsaturated market for non-retail type of format businesses, which means India, they really embrace direct selling, and they are embracing direct selling more and more and more. There was a time, certainly, if I remember correctly, when Amway was going over there doing business, that the direct selling business model was poo-pooed. It was just said it just wouldn't work. The next thing I started hearing, well, it's not going to last. Well, that was some 20 years ago, and not only does it work, and not only is it lasting, but it's only getting better and better. And the roots of direct selling in India have really been solidified, are really running deep and wide. So it is a great opportunity. They are the largest, or the 2nd largest labor force in the world. And yet their labor force alone exceeds the total population of the United States. It is, from a direct selling standpoint, India is growing at a clip of about 20% annually. It has grown 60% from 2003 to 2010. The number of direct sellers during that time have gone up from 1.8 million to 3 million people. So when you talk about a workforce that is over 400 million people, the opportunities to do business from a direct selling standpoint, it's sky's the limit. 70% of those people that came into direct selling in India since 2009 have been women. That pretty much holds true with the numbers certainly here in the United States, where we're looking at a close to 80 to 85%. The opportunities to bring more value to their family, to provide better education, with an unemployment rate that is over 10%, number of families, a number of individuals in India are looking at direct selling as a way to supplement those incomes and build value and give opportunity to their children. There are tremendous benefits to direct selling in India. It is generating employment in a way that the country has never been able to provide. It's been generating employment in a way that companies in India are really having an issue doing. They just don't have the power to create jobs. Well, direct selling companies do that. They provide jobs, they provide employment. It is extremely empowering for women, which is why you have 70% of direct sellers that have gotten involved in India since 2009 are women. And the opportunity for youth employment, which is so bad, direct selling offers a great opportunity. I'm going to show you this picture here. This is a company called Connie Bio. Connie Bio is about the 4th or 5th largest direct selling company that actually is India owned and grown. We're not talking about a company that has come in from the outside, like a Swedish company, a German company, an American company. We're talking about a company that is actually homegrown direct selling company. Connie Bio is probably the 4th largest. This is a picture of just one of their most recent meetings. It's really, really a fascinating look at culture. Direct selling is such a multicultural, diverse community, from religion to politics to race to fashion to you just name it. We are so multicultural and so diverse. It's one of the things that makes us so spectacular. We really are a microcosm of the world. This particular picture here showed you some of the companies that are there. Certainly you see Tupperware, and you see Avon, and you see Mary Kay. These are just some of the companies that have already gotten a foothold. And of course, definitely Amway. Amway has probably led the surge of direct selling companies going into India. It is the place to go. I happen to think that if you are looking to expand and grow your direct selling business, you should start creating a plan to go into India right now. As I said, the interesting thing about the population of India, of 1.2 billion people, their workforce is 478 million. And that workforce is larger than the entire population of the United States. India, it is the place to be. Just a quick side note, there's a really great article in this month's Direct Selling News. As you know, I don't always, I think Direct Selling News can give some very soft stories, but this particular issue on the story on India is a must-read. I think it's a really, really great story. They did a good job over there this time at Direct Selling News. When we come back, we're going to start a quick countdown to the 2010 Power 54. As we look back at Power 53 2010, number 50 and 49. Number 50 would be Jennifer Fong, and number 49 would be Brian, the host of MYB Talk. Be back in a second. On January 26, 2012, Direct Selling Live will broadcast its 4th annual Power 50, the 50 most powerful, most influential people in all of direct selling. It has easily become the most prestigious list in all of direct selling. Every major executive, top trainer, consultant looks to make this list. It's pretty funny. When I first launched the Power 50, I was told that by a number of major leaders in direct selling and other media, as a matter of fact, an association here and there as well, that, that's really cute, but it's not going to amount to anything. Wow, that's interesting. It's not going to go anywhere. Well, it is now the most prestigious list in all of direct selling. It is a list that looks at the 50 most powerful, most influential people during that calendar year. The major criteria for making the Power 50 is your impact on direct selling during that calendar year. It's not about how much money you make, how many distributors you have, what your company's revenue is. It's about what impact do you or your business, what positive impact, typically, not always, but your positive impact has had on the global community of direct selling. It's one thing to have tremendous impact for your company, but does what you do or introduce technology-wise, tools-wise, growth-wise, just anything, how does that impact the global community of direct selling? So you have to go beyond your company. The other aspect of it is, the other main criteria is, you or your business has to transcend the industry in some way. For instance, you could be a woman who is of Mexican descent. You are doing absolutely spectacular here in direct selling. Knowing what the racial breakdown is here in direct selling, if you are the type of woman who's done really, really well and you're of Mexican descent, you could easily transcend direct selling just by the sheer fact that what you represent to other Mexican women is opportunity here in direct selling. We've certainly seen that with Andrea Jung over at Avon, who has made our Power 50 #1 spot for the past 2 years. What she has done over there at Avon, a woman of Asian descent, she transcends the industry in that way. We also have people who aren't directly involved in direct selling, but they have impact. So right now we're going to look back at the 2010 Power 50, starting with number 50. Number 50 is Jennifer Fong. Jennifer Fong came on the scene in a very, very powerful way. I've been talking about social media and how to use it, but I think Jennifer Fong just took it to a whole nother level. Probably do more, in fact, with who she does more business with and her connections with the DSA. that being said, she, in my opinion, has become the de facto guru for social media in direct selling. She's talking about it all the time. She speaks at a number of company events. She speaks outside of direct selling about the power of social media and its impact in direct selling. So Jennifer Fong came in last year at number 50, and she will once again make our Power 50 come January 26, 2012. Number 49 was this guy. He does this radio show out of Boston. His name is Brian. He is the host of MYB Talk, which stands for Mind Your Business. That's what MYB Talk stands for. He's over at XM Satellite Radio, Sirius Radio, probably not so much XM anymore, but he's over there at Sirius Radio, Channel 128 on Saturday mornings at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Saturday mornings and 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Brian is always talking about business, and he's always got something to do with direct selling on his show. He is probably the #1 radio, not internet radio. Understand, we're not talking about internet radio. We're talking about real radio. Brian probably has the #1 show as it relates to direct selling here in the United States. Brian came in at number 49. Tomorrow we get into number 48 and number 47 as we continue our move towards the 2012 Power 54, January 26th. It will be broadcast live on Direct Selling Live. Up next, the big news story of the day. The Direct Selling Association's new marketing campaign designed to bring awareness to direct selling, and as it is being reported, it's designed to bring positive awareness to direct selling if you're a DSA member. Be back in a second. It is now time for the big news of the day. Direct Selling News, the preeminent magazine that goes out to executives in direct selling, is reporting this month that the Direct Selling Association is preparing to launch a major marketing campaign to build awareness of direct selling in the public arena. I'll just go on to read parts of what the actual press release says. It goes on to say, DSA, let me just take my glasses off so I can actually see something here. DSA pilots national campaign. DSA is developing and testing a marketing campaign designed to improve the awareness and understanding of direct selling in the marketplace while also affecting positive recruitment and outcome. It's going to launch this 12-week program in mid-January or late January, and it will involve a 12-week test period. So, it goes on to say it's going to be a 12-week marketing program. It's going to be a targeted digital advertising campaign that will run in several cities across the country. Some of the markets of the program that will be used to be tested, what they're going to do differently is they're going to use independent representatives directly to engage consumers. That's going to be interesting to see how this rolls out. I have already put in an email request to Amy Robinson over at the DSA requesting a look at the actual program. Because in this article it says if you want more information, contact Amy Robinson at arobinson@dsa.org. The campaign will focus on what they say are several key messages about direct selling. Education, about the business model, and also they're going to be focusing on encouraging recruitment. For more information on the DSA's new pilot program, you can contact, as I said, Amy Robinson at arobinson@dsa.org. Here's the very last part of the very first paragraph, and I will read, which I find to be very interesting. I will read the first paragraph once again. The DSA is looking to develop and test a marketing campaign designed to improve the awareness and understanding of direct selling in the marketplace while also affecting positive recruitment outcomes for DSA members. So my question is this. As great as this program may be, and I'm certainly hoping that it will be, because we could use all the positive marketing campaigns that we can get our hands on. Certainly anything that goes beyond the USA Today or the Today Show is going to be a welcome change. But is it really just to improve recruitment for DSA companies? Tell me that's not so.